The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are today on this call. It is my pleasure to be here today again. I'm super excited to be sharing your today's training, which is the 2-minute story and testimonial edification. My name is Anne-Marie Chantal. I am a diplomat with the fastest growing designer fashion house, Global World Trade. And I'm not sure where you are in the world right now. I know here I want to welcome to our Alberta and BC team and Saskatchewan. So all west of Canada. I know there's tons of people on the call today. Super proud of you for being here, for taking the time and really seeing and learning the steps. I know we have people also from Ontario on this call, which is super late for you guys there. So welcome to the call. And I know many of you will be listening to this later on after the recording. So welcome to all of you here. Today's 2-minute story. I mean, if you've talked with me lately, all I've been talking about is make sure you conduct your story. Now, I might have said to you a few parts that you want to build your story with, and that's just to create a first foundation, because the highest income earner in network marketing are the greatest storyteller. So guess what? If you want to become a top income earner, you have to learn how to share story. So which story is the best to share? Yours, right? So you must learn to tell your story well and as often as you can. You should have a powerful story. Now, why would you need that? Well, because it creates curiosity. It creates interest in your prospect to ask more questions about your business, right? So you need to have a powerful story. Now, your 2-minute story is all about telling your prospect about yourself, right? So it's simple. That way you will be building rapport, with them. You will be building that like and trust, right? Um, so you're telling them about you, and that will really build a relation between you and them. So as long as your story comes from the heart, they will resonate, or they might know somebody that would resonate with your story. So when you're honest and real with your story, you're more likely to gain their trust, even a lot more, right? Even more so. So start sharing your story. It's really, really important. So this is not a 2-minute story to vomit on your business opportunity here, okay? So keep that verbal diarrhea for yourself a little longer. Keep swallowing. But your story is really to attract and create interest so that they are inspired and intrigued to ask more questions. Okay, so very simple. So your story and testimony story. So your story is very important to your team and our prospect because it shares your reason for why you're building your GWT business. Your story will also help you to build further like and trust with your prospect and your team member, right? So it's very important. Some people will launch because of the story they heard from you, but sometimes they will launch from another person's story, or maybe your friends or business partner will share their story, and then they'll hear yours, and that's what's gonna get them to realize and relate to. Okay, so your 2-minute story consists of the following components. So you might want to write this down now. So first of all is when did you start your business? What day, how many days, how many months, how many years, you know, what really, what really that do is that it will actually get in your prospect's mindset. How the more specific you are, the better. I mean, I hear some people say, oh, I've been in this business for 127 days. And now your prospect is thinking, how many months is that? But really, what that shows is the importance and how committed and confident and sure they are with their business. For me, I've been in the business for 6 years, so I don't start counting the days anymore. But what that shows to most people is, really like usually what I get is, what, that long? Wow. Why do I get that? Well, because most people quit before they become successful. Most people don't finish what they started. And when you don't finish what you started, you can guarantee that you will fail. So I never wanted to fail, so I kept going until I had, enough consistency and learning and process and learn the skills and philosophy behind it to be successful. So when I tell people 6 years, they're like, wow, right? But for you, it might be a couple of days, it might be a couple of weeks or a couple of months or a year and a half or whatever it is. The more specific you are, the better it could be, mostly when you're in your beginning in terms of days. Now, number two is why. We all have a reason why we started with GWT. And your why is so important. And it should be so powerful that your why should make you cry. And I'm sure you heard that before. And if you haven't, well, here it is, because it's an old saying that your why should make you cry, because it's your why that will keep your burning desire to stay focused with your business. My why, it makes me cry a lot, so I'm not going to share my why here tonight, but that's my why that keeps me focused and it keeps me going, and it drives me. It's like a driving force behind me that I have every day for doing what I do, right? If you haven't established your why, you need to find it, because if you're telling your prospect any story, they're not going to bother, or they're not going to believe you. They will think you are like not committed, or that you're not taking your business seriously. So you really want to make sure you establish your why in your story. So here's an example. Let's say you have a job, so your full-time job. So you could say a story, an example of a story could say, my job restrict me for doing the things I really want to do. It keeps me away from my family. I work crap hours with crap pay, or maybe you don't want to use those words. Maybe you want to use, I'm overwork and underpay, right? And I'm sick and tired of living from paycheck to paycheck. See, like it's very, very short, it's to the point, and it says everything here. It's important to use some wording in there to intrigue the curiosity, right? Like it's really, there's like sequence word, like soundbite that really will go and get them to see, like, whoa, hang on, there's something that this person know that I don't know, right? So the third aspect is who. Now, this is a good place to not just say who introduced you to the business, but give some background, right? So, for example, for me, it's my husband. So I could say, my husband and coach introduced me to this business. Keith has researched most companies from the industry. He's actually been exposed to network marketing for over 25 years and never believed in the profession until he found GWT, right? So he supported me and the team all around the globe, and he's part of the CEO and counseling advisor, and I give him so much credit for my success, right? So you want to edify your sponsor in your 2-minute story. Now, why would that be? Well, it's simple, because it will pique even more your prospects' interest, and they will become even more curious. Also, when you bring that third party in that conversation, rather for coffee, over the phone, or any way, that prospect's already intrigued about that person, right? So in my opinion, it's really, really, really important that you had more than just, oh, my friend introduced me. So if you don't know your sponsor edification, ask them so you can build a powerful story. And it doesn't have to be long, just something short, right? But the key here is to be excited about it. See if you if see if it wasn't for Keith being open and looking and sharing with me, I wouldn't even be as successful as I am today, right? So it's very, very key, and you want to thank those people for introducing you to GWT, but also you want to utilize them and in your story as well. Okay, so first, when, number two, why, number three, who. Okay, now there's two more parts. Is the product testimonial are also important, right? So people want to know if the product sells. So, now fortunately for us, we don't have products that make us lose weight or 100 years, you look 100 years younger. Our products are very visual and they give instant gratification. So you know well you you know how most people are emotional human, right? Like we all have ups and downs and we have an emotional products. So it makes it very easy to actually share the products. But really what that really means is when people see the products, because they're emotional buyer, they will buy it. So what I'm really saying here is the product, be the product of the product, right? You need to use the product, you need to wear it because it speaks for itself. So while you're giving your first part of your story, your when, why, and who, you might want to blink your prospect, your flashing timepieces, right? Or give them your fairy shield before you do so, right? So show your products. So absolutely be the products of the products and love what you wear. You got to be happy and be passionate about what you're doing and what you have, right? You might not be a jewelry or into fashion, but now that you get paid to wear it, it's a no-brainer to wear it and show it, doesn't it? So that's number four, right? Now, number five is the business testimonial. So you can share how much you earn or how many people you have in your team, or how many total sales volume you have. So for me, I never share my income because I find first there are people that start at the same time than me and are making way more than me. And there's also people who start at the same time and are making way less than me. So we all have the ability to make great income if we have the burning desire to do something with it. But what I do share is the results. And right, like, and how do I say it? Like the size of my team is something that I share, right? So I get often what I do, what I'll share for my story now, it wasn't like that before, but now it is, right? I get to share things like I get to spend time with my son. We travel. Well, the last summer we traveled the entire summer. I fired my boss. I just came back from this amazing trip to Vegas. I was in Kelowna before. Like I get to see places, spend time with my family. I get to share this. But for you, it might be how your team has grown since you got started. Lots of people would tell you things like, I'll wait and I'll see how you do first. But if you already tell them that your business already has member and growing, and that you're, talking to them now so they can benefit the growth happening, they will feel more compelled to check it out, right? So stay honest because honesty speaks louder than anything else. Okay, so if you want to share your group sales volume, if you want to calculate the group sales volume in your team, you go in your back office. What you really want to do is to contact your upline, your My Five, and ask them exactly how do you calculate. Ask them that question. How do I calculate the sales volume in my team? And I know that your amazing My Five will be assisting you with that, no problem. right? So if you're new with this business and you don't have a story yet, just use the 1, 2, 3 steps. So when, why, and who, and share other people's story. You're allowed to share my story. You're allowed to share Lior Scaler or Renee Liao or Reza Mesgarlu or Sherry. You're allowed to share and use other people's story and use them as testimonial. But you want to start sharing your story and make it better as fast as you can. Okay, there's the old saying, the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. So you want to create a story, a 2-minute story, as fast as you can, but you really start right now. And most people already have rather a product testimonial or a business testimonial, rather you sold a couple pieces, or rather your business start growing and you probably don't even know why, or if you're new, right? But remember, creating a 2-minute story is about creating the curiosity for the prospect to ask more questions. That's it. The more questions they ask, the better it is for us to show them the business. So you still don't want to verbal diarrhea over them about the business opportunity, right? They're going to get scared. They're going to run away. They won't buy. They're going to think you're crazy anyway. Um, so keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it simple, make it a fun story. Start sharing with your My5 or with your team member to get it better, to make it feel and sound exactly like you want to, so you can start implementing that. But remember, as soon as you share your story with someone, you want to book a time for them to see what it is. Don't send a video until you have enough skills to actually know how to overcome when somebody see a video. What you want to do is, first of all, use some leading question to get them interested to hear more. And before you share anything about the company, you go with your story. Once you share your story, if they still want to hear more, which most likely will do if you've done a good job in a powerful story, you then say, you know what, I'd love to share with you, what about we schedule a time together? Rather it's a coffee time, a video Skype, whatever, a live meeting, live presentation, whatever works for you and them, you make it happen. It could be a 3-way call. That way you utilize your upline, your My5 to actually do the work for you while you get trained, while you learn and become skilled at doing that presentation yourself as well. So, I mean, tonight, this is it. This is really the key here, is to build your story. The faster you build it, the more you share it, the easier it will be. So I have a quick challenge for you. I'm challenging you to write your story as powerful as you can, and to call me or email me or Facebook me for this week, every day this week, for the next 5 days, to actually share with me your story so I can help you. Or if it's not me, you can ask your upline. If I'm not your upline, you can use me too. It doesn't matter. We all work as a family anyway. So if you don't have my information, go find me on Facebook. I'll be glad to share it. But yeah, that's it. So last and not the least, I wanted to share one of the things that really, really changed my life, and it is the annual convention. This convention is in April 7th to the 9th. It will be mind blowing. I mean, if you don't have your ticket, get your ticket now before they sell out. It will be amazing. We have a gala, we have a fashion show, we have the world-class training, international training, and that alone is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. You have it at a super, super cheap price. I've never seen this before. And I can guarantee, if you're serious with your business, you must be there, because this will change everything. And I can speak for for myself. But really, what I say is I can speak by experience because I missed the first convention when I started. And I really, really regret it. And I know you will regret it if you don't come, because once I went to the second year convention, it really, really made me realize the things that I've done that I could have done better the first year. It really opens my mind because everything is your mindset. Your mind will say things, although you might not agree. But when you start seeing, the real people, the CEO and his vision, and Sanaz Human and Ramin, and how they share and how they train, and the ins and out, and other people's story, you will just be blown away, and it will give you so much more inside your brain, right? Your mindset will develop even more than just a convention. So get your ticket now before they sell. 139 in your back office. Contact your My5 or myself if you want to know where to get that. Very simple. So if you have any questions, make sure you put your questions in the question box below here. Otherwise, this is what I have today. I'm really, really looking forward to hear about your story, to see where you're going, how you got into this business, what's your why. Go establish your why. We all have one. And yeah, that's it. So I'm excited. I hope you are. I'm looking forward to build it. Let's do this all together, and have a good morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are in the world. And that is it. Have a wonderful time.